Welcome to OkState Daily. Casey Porter here, so glad that you decided to tune in. Fans, today we have a very special guest like we do each and every week. The head baseball coach at Oklahoma State, Josh Holliday, joins. Coach, it was just such a wonderful weekend. Got to sit in O'Brate finally with great weather. Got to play one game a day. Got to play the 1 o'clock game on Sunday. The fans were great all weekend. Just what a wonderful weekend.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think you look back, Central Florida, very talented team, good roster, very offensive team with some good arms. We were on point. Our pitching was really, really good. Obviously, Harrison does such a good job and has continued to do such a good job on the Friday game of stabilizing the game, giving us a chance to find our way. And once again, he did that Friday. Good all-around team game on Friday. Love what Mario brought to the table in Game 2. Love getting Gabe Davis back in the fold. You saw the opportunity to see him come out and kind of recapture the adrenaline and the passion for pitching. That was a lot of fun and definitely a huge shot in the arm for our team. And you see what an impact guy he can be and hopefully will continue to be. And then really proud of the effort on Sunday to come out and finish the job. And we were on the verge of maybe running away with it. Some really good offensive moments in that ball game early. They do a unique thing. They have some of their former starters in the bullpen. And Stagliano locked us up pretty good, innings 6, 7, and 8. He's a former Friday night starter. So we did not score as much late. They stayed in the game and took a little bit of a magic act there late by Matthew Brown to come in and kind of end it with a double play ball. But great all-around, gritty effort by our team. I like very much the continued growth of a lot of guys. Brock Thompson continues to really step forward as a young player who's growing inside of the season. Brugge had another solid weekend. You start looking around saying, okay, a lot of different guys contributing to this thing. Conover continues to play good baseball. Braden Smith doing the little things that I think will get him back into a really good offensive groove. And then a lot of good team offense, in particular from the bottom of the order. Some good examples of base hits, gritty, tough base hits. Ian had a couple of at-bats. Drew Culbertson gets some bunts down. So each time Brock, Ian, and Drew rolled through there, they gave us a chance to score from the bottom, and then we did a good job of scoring from the top and getting some quality at-bats mixed in throughout the lineup. So good team weekend. As you said, it was fun, good weather, one day at a time, and just another good example of a good step our team has taken forward. And you mentioned it, we had some great fan involvement, and that's always a huge thing for us when our crowd can impact the rhythm and the emotion of a game, which I think we saw that on Saturday pretty good.
So just beyond, take the Oklahoma State baseball fan hat off and be a baseball fan for a minute. Think of all the things we got to see from Oklahoma State this weekend. You got to see home runs, you got to see bunts, you got to see 2 hit and runs, you got to see straight steals, you got to see 2 strike approaches, you got to see clutch base hit, timely hitting, you got to see all sorts of different types of pitching, left-handed sliders, right-handed sinkers, right-handed four-seam, right. I mean, literally, if you came to the ballpark this weekend, you got to see just about everything baseball has to offer.
Yeah, I think the Game 2 starter for Central Florida was a really talented pitcher. He mixed and moved the ball. 4 or 5 different pitches were showing up. He was a tough guy to center up. The small ball and the team aspect of baseball really gave us something to lean on a little bit in the 7th inning there Saturday. So that was a good example of finding different ways to score, not being quite as reliant upon extra base hits or homers. And when the ballpark shifted a little bit on Sunday, it felt a little more offensive Sunday. We hit some balls hard, and that was an important part of our offense. We do have some guys that are really they're threats, and when they're swinging the bat good, the long ball in our park can be a big weapon for us. It's something that we've been kind of built on over the years. So striking in different ways. I also like some of the really good defense that we saw at times. I thought run prevention on Friday and Saturday was a good part of the formula. Not as much on Sunday, but certainly in games 1 and 2 of the series, there was some quality glove work, and Brock's done a nice job at third base, helping kind of re-solidify our defensive alignment when we had to reshuffle a little bit there and adjust. And I thought Conover made a few really nice plays in left field. him reacting to balls off the bat. So good team effort. I think that's what you're seeing. The strength of the team is the individual collection of good ball players playing together and rallying around each other. It's kind of the vision we had for the team when we built it, was there be some good, gritty baseball players stepping into some important roles. And if those guys can stay inside themselves, do the little things right. You mentioned some of those things: take a walk, get down a bunt, put the ball in play. That we thought that we have a chance to kind of pull that group together. But it starts on the mound. Yes. You get a great start from Harrison, an excellent start from Mario, a really solid start from Sean, and then enough good quality baseball around it to put together a sweep.
So your 3 starting pitchers, first of all, on Friday, it's like, okay, we get a big lead, so now you kind of think, well, UCF might go down staff, which gives them the advantage for the rest of the weekend. So not just the excellence of Harry. It was the fact that he needed to go 8 innings so we could save our bullpen too.
Yeah, you hit it on the head. We did get an early lead. They went down staff. They saved their top 6 or 7 guys for games 2 and 3. He did a nice job at that 110 pitch mark of taking it deep. We were in a good spot heading into game 2, and you saw us shoot some pretty strong bullets there with the way we handled game 2, and then put us in position in game 3. It was a grind for Sean. The game didn't move at the pace that he's used to it. He threw a lot of close pitches and competed awfully hard, but the game was kind of slow-paced. We were on offense a lot. The innings weren't moving as quickly as he would have liked, or what he likes to do, which is attack. Yes, You'll see a lot of he works fast. He puts the ball in play quickly. He'll strike a lot of guys out, but he'll also beat their bat and get a couple of 2 and 3 pitch outs too, because he is such an aggressive competitor. So Sunday's game had a little bit of a slower pace to it. He had pushed hard for 5, and then the bullpen. I thought Hunter was in a good spot.
It was.
We just didn't quite finish that 8th inning as clean as we wanted to going into the 9th. So, we catch a ball here or there too. I think that thing, it takes on a life of its own much quicker. So, good lessons in the game. Never leave teams. Let them hang around. Never leave the door open for people to make a run at you, because at this level, inevitably, teams always do.
So we've talked the last couple of times about complimentary baseball. So I thought the job that Mario did Saturday, when Brennan came in, it just kind of felt like he had a duty to uphold what Mario had just done. That's the ultimate of complimentary baseball. When UCF scored the times they did, we came right back in and scored more than they did. That's the ultimate of complimentary baseball. So I just thought the complimentary piece was good this weekend.
Yeah, I love the trust that Brennan has built up.
Yeah.
He's become a guy that now, whether it's a 1 or 2 batter outing or a chunk innings where he needs to knock off 2 or 3, or making a big pitch with runners in base, he's done all those things in the last month and done them consistently well, and done them in different settings. So that's been a huge part of the staff continuing to get some depth to it. I thought we were responsive as a team on Saturday. It was one of those games where Mario was pitching so well. Their guy was pitching just as well. Mm-hmm. And Mario outpitched him to the end. Gave us a chance to ultimately, pull away. So it was a game, if you have to win a close one, we were up for it. Game on Sunday, if you have to outscore them, we were up for it. And then obviously the way Harrison pitched on Friday night, he kind of said, hey, I'm going to go out here and do my thing. You guys scratch and claw and put some runs up here, and we're going to go ahead and get game 1. So good team effort. I thought their confidence that built amongst the kids over the course of those 3 games was a lot of fun to watch.
I don't know if you got to see Mario smile when he came off the field and he embraced his teammates, but that was a special moment.
Yeah, well, he's a big teammate. I mean, he's a guy that has something for everyone. He's upbeat. He cheers for everybody. He likes everybody. He sees the good in everybody. He's mature enough to share himself with the team, which I think is something guys grow into. So on the days he's not pitching, he's just as involved in the game as the days he is pitching. So it is a lot of fun when a kid like that takes the mound and walks off with a great start under his belt. And, you mentioned it was one of our better crowds of the year. It was one of the better days to come out and enjoy baseball. And don't think that doesn't impact a kid like him to walk off the field to a really nice ovation.
Yeah, he absolutely. He is that OSU gritty that guys like me grew up. That's an OSU baseball player when I see him take the mound. Braden Smith is another guy. You look at him, Alex, all these guys, but Braden Smith, you go, that's what an OSU baseball player is supposed to look like. So he gets the weekend started with the opposite field hit. He scores the first run of the weekend, which is huge. Then he makes the 2 huge plays on Saturday at a position he hasn't played for like 2 weeks. You just can't say enough about Braden Smith.
Well, he he did handle a lot of those awkward chances, and some of those chances are difficult when you're in a shift because you're moving at an extra distance to get to the ball. But he handled those ground balls to his left awfully well, and he did a nice job of not getting sped up. That big catcher DH who hit the ball not particularly fast, but his internal clock there to end the game was really good. So Braden's a ball player, but he's a wonderful kid, highly invested in the game, highly invested in his teammates, and a willingness to do anything and everything the team ever needs him to do, whether it's play second base, center field, right field, left field, doesn't care. He just wants to help us win, and you see that in his offense too. It's a guy that can take a walk, lay down a bunt, hit a double. He can do a little bit of everything to help you win a game. So the strength of these kids is their character, and it's showing up. They've stayed with this thing through the thick and the thin. And hopefully our best baseball continues to be something that we're pushing towards.
So let's put JJ, Jason Jones, and Colin Brighamman together. Colin, it hasn't always gone perfect in conference play for him, but I tell you what, he's put probably together the most professional at-bats during conference season at the biggest points. That ball that he dumped into center field for the 2-run RBI was just a professional at-bat. Jason Jones, I mean, he brought out every club in his bag this weekend. So talk about those two.
Yeah, I think Colin is probably, when you look at it, start to finish, had as consistent of big swing year that you could ask for. His first year here as a DH, kind of facing mainly right-hand pitching, he had a really good year. Yeah. And that was coming off of a fall where he was rehabilitating his shoulder surgery. So I thought his year one was really good. Year two, obviously last year he broke in as the everyday first baseman. He's playing against righties and lefties, and he never really got a break. And at times he got a little tired, and maybe some matchups got the best of him. His strikeout totals were a little higher than he wanted, and probably chased a little more than he should have. But I think he's been awfully solid this year. He's been on the field for virtually every pitch of every game. He's played a good first base. He's had a lot of big RBI base hits. He's hung in there good against left-hand pitching.
Yes.
As you said, he's kind of been a pace car too. He's had a lot of big opposite field, extra base hits, and big moments for us. So I think Colin's been awfully good. Jason, I think, has been a little bit of a tale of two seasons. Early on, he came out of the chute kind of hot and confident and a little flashy and kind of feeling himself a little bit. Hit a little bit of a tough stretch there where he had to reinvent himself and find his game again. And we've been doing that. He's worked through some of the defensive challenges of third base. He's learning some new defensive skills in the outfield. He's gotten better timing at the plate in the last month. He's starting to hit fastballs more consistently to all fields, and he's hit some breaking balls awfully hard. So he's a great example of a guy that's staying with it. He has a chance to be a huge factor down the stretch for us with a lot of the left-hand starting pitching we're going to face. He's a right-handed weapon for us. So the game is at times a lot of fun and easy, and at times it's hard.
Yeah. And
you can really sense when a young player is battling through the challenges to get back on the other side. And we just have had one of those years where a lot of guys have had the high side of the game, the challenging side of the game, and they're pushing so hard to get back on the high side of the game. So the work ethic's there, the time investment has been really, really good, the determination's really good. Relaxing, finding that confidence here down the stretch is really what we're chasing, is the best baseball this group can play together all at the same time.
So a couple more kids I want to talk about. Colin Ritchie, it looked like he started trusting his swing a little bit better this weekend, trusting the hands, that kind of thing. And had some, not necessarily worried about mechanics, just, hey, I'm just going to get a hit right here, right? That kind of thing?
Well, Colin is a fascinating talent, great strength, great speed. I like his skill set a lot. And, he missed the first month of the year with a back injury, missed the entire preseason. So he never had that tune-up phase, that kind of get yourself going phase. He had to jump right into this thing at week 5 and came out of the gates really good. Obviously the power and all the things are there. Then, of course, the opposition adjusts to you a little bit. They started kind of off-speeding him to death, and he had to adjust back to that. So I think he's seeing the ball good. He has a good idea what he wants to swing at. At times, if the swing is not as handsy as it needs to be, he'll start to slide around and pull some balls. And so he's trying to get back to really staying over his back leg because he's such a strong individual and using the whole field. And when he does that, this guy can create a base hit to left, extra base hit to center, power to right. He can do a little bit of everything across the whole grid. And that's the player I believe he's going to become is a really dynamic all-around offensive player, somebody that can hit a base hit with 2 strikes, somebody that can hit a tape measure home run for a 3-run homer and break open a game, but a guy that can do lots of things on the field. And you saw that Sunday. I think you're starting to see him play with more confidence and a little bit more edge.
Yeah.
And we need that from him.
Yeah. Talk about edge. I want to talk about Ian Doherty. I want to finish with Ian, but let's get to Alex Conover. You can't say enough about what he's been to the top of this lineup, because he's a guy that can get on, he can get over, he can get in, which is huge. But then he's also a guy that can hit a home run, and he's a guy that can drive in big runs. And then also, just more than anything, I mean, his parents have a military background. He's from Tuttle. He was a linebacker. He was the quarterback. He just brings a tough guy element to this team, it seems like.
Well, Alex is a good player. I mean, Alex, like you said, there's some base running skills that are still developing. There's some defensive skills that are in play. There's a toughness at home plate that's very much alive and well. There's some power, but he's a competitive kid, and his work ethic is very good. He spent 1 year in junior college, so this is still a young player that's adjusting to this level. Athletically and competitively, he's everything you'd want your players to be, and he's only getting better. I really like where Alex is going. Ian Doherty, you mentioned, he's caught a lot of games here. You know, if you look back over the last 15, 20 years, Ian probably over a 4-year career has caught as many games as anyone in quite some time. So he's got a lot of experience. He's had a lot of big moments. Hopefully his best moments are still in this remaining stretch of baseball as we make a push. But Ian's going to go down as a guy that really has become a good receiver. He catches the ball well. He frames the ball well. He's thrown out a number of runners as of late. He's blocked the ball well as of late. And he's had some big at-bats. He's put some key balls in play. And obviously he gets in a groove too. He's knocked a number of balls out of here. So we just need all these guys to continue to stay true to their identity, play as a team. But you mentioned a lot of the good ingredients these guys have.
You ever had a catcher be involved in 2 hit and runs over the same weekend, one on the runner side, one on the hitter side? That was awesome with Ian.
Yeah, I like that part of his game. He's a versatile player. He's a good bunter. He's got good bat control, and he's willing to do whatever we ask him. So just a compliment to him, compliment to the work he's put in over 4 years.
Okay, so finally, a normal road trip this weekend. I want to say normal, it's one that you're used to. I mean, we've been to Waco, Texas. You probably have it down to the minute exactly how this trip needs to go. From a time perspective, where you're going to eat, all that kind of stuff, so take us through this weekend.
Well, yeah, we've been to Baylor. You know, this was an original member back in the day when Big 12 baseball was born in 1997 when we started this journey. So they're a good team. They've drastically improved team. Some nice arms. They got a world-class closer, and they look like they're very good on offense. So another challenging weekend for us, but we're pretty used to that at this point. It's a ballpark and location that we've played in a bunch. It's usually an offensive park, and if it's warm and windy, you know, we've handled those types of settings pretty well. We just got to stay on point. Like I said, it'll be a tough weekend, but they've all been tough for us. So we're pretty battle-tested at this point in the season. We know what we need to do. It's just a matter of getting on a bus and getting down there and kind of jumping back on the field, put exams behind us, and move into the post-school phase of the season. Yeah,
it was cool to see Baylor and Arizona State play each other last weekend because those are your next 2 opponents, so that made it a lot easier. So, Josh Holliday, thank you so much.
You bet.